Hi, welcome to Dynamic Wellness Holiday Bootcamp, day number 11. This is the 12 days of me sharing over the 12 days tips and tricks to get you through the holidays and into the new year as a new you. Today, it's Vic's Picks. So, coming up in the new year, I have a newsletter coming out, which will have a series every single month or every single edition that will have Vic's Picks. Today you're going to get quite an assortment of my picks, and some of them can be for gifts. So just to start you off, I wanted to tell you that my picks are always something along the line of homemade or unique, or in a way to introduce a client or a friend to my way of life. And my way of life is not unique to a lot of people, but it's unique to some. I am mostly grain-free, mostly dairy-free. And when I say mostly, it means I still consume those things. But I know that they rob me of nutrients, and so I don't consume them frequently. So you'll see a lot of products here that are grain-free and along those lines. And the reason why I reduce the grain is not something that the human body knows how to digest and absorb and assimilate nutrients from. It's not, grains are not meant for humans. And while it's been in our food chain for probably 10,000 years, and we are maybe becoming more adaptable, now we've got other issues that come along with grain, the production and the growing of grains, which is pesticides, glyphosate being one, sprayed on them that create a whole nother host of issues. And so now that doesn't mean that some of the other products are not also sprayed this way or treated this way, but just know that most grains, if they're not organic and don't say not genetically modified, they're more than likely sprayed with the pesticide and glyphosate being the primary thing. So that's a whole nother long subject. Let's get to the good stuff. All right, what I love to do is make gifts. I make ghee. I soak and sprout and dehydrate nuts for my clients and friends. And I also make cereal doing that same kind of thing. Matter of fact, back here are almonds that came from a farm up in Northern California where they sell directly to the consumer, which means I can get those and they're not pasteurized. If you buy them from a retailer, in California, they will be pasteurized. That's something that became a law in the early 90s because of a salmonella outbreak. And so basically, if you buy what says a raw almond in the store, it's been pasteurized. So if you go directly to the grower, that doesn't happen. So I have a truly raw nut. Soaking and sprouting it releases any phytonutrients that actually might block absorption of nutrients. And I then will rinse those. Those are about ready. They've been soaking for 8 hours. I'm going to rinse them and toss them with some organic ground cinnamon, and they're going in the dehydrator. When they come out of that after 24 to 26 hours, it's a big process. They will kind of have a crunch to them, and they will also be more shelf stable. You could certainly eat a nut that you've soaked and sprouted right as soon as it's done, for the purposes of releasing the outer shell of what keeps the nut from sprouting. But they won't last very long. You'd have to keep them in the refrigerator, and so you could do those in small batches and eat them that way. But I prefer to do it this way, and that I can put them in jars and give them as gifts, and they last a good 6 months. So that's one thing. I also, from sprouted seeds and nuts, I make a cereal, and I also, like I said, make ghee. So I'm going to show you a few things here that could be used in place of you making the items yourself, and kind of fun. So first thing over here are, well, if you want to bake anything, most of it starts with an alternative flour like an almond meal. Trader Joe's has a very good price on this. It does not show that it's organic, but it's a pretty good product. Simple Mills, and I'm going to show you some crackers as well, has a whole line of baked goods that you could put this in a basket for somebody and allow them to make it themselves, or you could make it for them and give it to them as a gift. This is brownies. They have a cake mix that you can make into cupcakes or a loaf, and they've got pumpkin bread and banana bread, and then they also have this bread, which it's pretty dense. It's not like a normal loaf of bread, and it might be an acquired taste, but I actually love this. Another alternative is the Warrior Bread from the Gluten-Free Society. That's Peter Osborne. I study a lot of his stuff, and he has actually on his site, Gluten-Free Society, a lot of great recipes that you can use that are replacement recipes for flour type recipes. So Warrior Bread is it's pretty good. It's more of a white bread. This reminds me kind of like a pumpernickel bread. It's dense, and I love to make avocado toast with this, or a BLT, an open face BLT. It's really yummy. For cereal, there's two brands. Purely Elizabeth has a lot of also grain granola that's not grain-free, but this is one of the many that are. And then this one was one I found recently that's actually from sprouted and seeds and nuts. And if you look at the ingredients, this is organic maple syrup, figs, unsweetened coconut, pumpkin puree, organic spices, and sea salt. And then the seeds are sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, sprouted almonds, walnuts, and sprouted cashews. So not all of it is sprouted, but mine will be. My homemade one will be. So here's the ghee I would recommend buying in the store if you do not make your own. I'll have a whole episode on how to make ghee, because that's really a fun treat. It can be a little tricky, but it's not hard. It's not hard. And then if you are having a party, these grain-free tortilla chips are great. Every time I have people over, they all, nothing's ever left. They love them. Serve that with a homemade salsa. I oftentimes will get the salsa from my farmer's market, or you make your own guacamole or anything like that. And then Simple Mills, again, here they've got a couple of different crackers that can be used. I use a cashew cheese dip that I get at the farmer's market also, but you could also slice up cheese if you do dairy. And next, I'm going to show you a few things that you can that come from the bathroom, or like body care products that could be great for gifts. Okay, if you saw my feature on treating yourself to from the hustle bustle and taking a bath and diffusing some lavender oil and things like that, here's one of the products I used. This is Pacha. Now they have this wasn't, so I use Environmental Working Group, their app, that will give you a rating on how clean the product is for your body. We have to be concerned with how our skin is treated as much as what we put in our mouth, because our skin will absorb those same kind of those same kind of toxins. So this doesn't rate on there, but I know that their products in general are pretty good. But you can also get, so it's an Epsom salt, you can also just get a big bag of Epsom salt. Put that in a basket with maybe a nice sponge and some of that essential oil I was talking about. Here's the lavender. This pranayam is one that I use. I've also used doTERRA. Sandalwood is one of my favorite, but diffusing lavender is very relaxing. You can also put the drops into the bath. This has lavender flecks in it, so it will color the water a little bit dark. my favorite lotion for the body for a couple reasons. Number one, it's clean, but it actually absorbs nicely into the skin, like a lotion that has all the the things, whatever the commercial brands do to make them sort of absorb in your skin and be likable by most people. It's Andalou. I love the rose, the lavender shea. Probably this is my favorite, the body butter. Their products are pretty clean. They're going to come out on the Environmental Working Group site pretty clean. I have hair cream products I use of theirs. I've used their shampoos. So that's probably one of my favorite for how it makes my skin feel, how it makes my hair feel, the smell. It's always essential oils in there. So whenever you can, look for, when you're getting an essential oil, look for an organic brand, because it's important that you don't, when you're, especially if you diffuse it or if you put it on your skin. Unfortunately, there's a lot out there that either are marketed as a lavender, and it could have some essential oil lavender in there, but it's not 100%. And if it's not organic, it could quite possibly be filled with pesticides. And the thing is, with any oil that's from a food, an essential oil like this, you actually absorb the oils, the toxins stay in the oils much more than they do in a liquid base. So you have to be real careful. And there's a huge difference. When you start to use them, you'll know the difference. And if you're using them therapeutically, there's really a huge difference. So I hope this was informative. I went on double the time I usually do because there was a lot to share. But take this in parts and maybe watch it again. Hopefully you'll maybe find your way into some of these products. And the main thing is share with your friends the things that are special to you. These things are special to me, and it's the way I live my life every day, and I love to teach it to people. So it's my business, it's my work, but I impress upon it on my friends too, and gently so, but and in a way that's loving. And when you give it as a gift, that's super loving. So enjoy these tips, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final day of gratitude. Thank you.